So we're going to go over some stretches. Primarily, we're going to focus on the lower back here. One thing you want to do prior to going in through your stretch routine is grab a foam roller and go through a complete body foam rolling routine, which will be covered on another segment. That will help loosen you up before you go into your stretch routine. Again, this is going to be focusing on your lower back, so we're just going to cover a few different stretches. The first thing we're going to start out with isn't necessarily a stretch. It's actually designed to decrease the resistance of fluid in your back. It's called cats and dogs. So what we're going to see here is Tori's going to go through and drop her head down, arch her back up, pause, and then come back up. It's a nice, easy, fluent movement. It's not a stretch. Often you'll see this as people come up. Go ahead and push up as high as you can. Okay, go the other way. All the way up. And they really force it. It should just be a nice, easy movement. And we're just trying to decrease the viscosity of the spine, the internal fluid, so we're able to move a little bit better before we go into the stretch routine. And all we need is about 5 or 6 of them. So from this position, Tori's going to go ahead and lay on her back. Knees bent, feet together, knees together, arms down at her side, shoulders down, and she's just going to drop her hips one side to the other. Nice, easy, trying to relax. Breathing is very important. It's going to help you relax. And again, we're just going to do about 5 or 6 on each side. It's going to help loosen up that thoracic region. And once you've done these 2 exercises, we're going to go into the stretches. First one we're going to start with is called The Matrix. It's actually from a book called Stretch to Win. It's by Ann Fredrickson from Tempe, Arizona. It's a great routine that's going to cover a lot of different muscle groups. So Tori is going to align herself. We're going to press her foot into her thigh and pretty much line up her knee on her front leg all the way down to her ankle on the back leg. And she's just simply going to lean forward and try and stay tall through her spine. We don't want to see is a rounding over and a dropping on the floor. You may be able to see that her spine is rounded here. Well, and she may still feel a stretch down there, but you're going to get a lot more out of it if we keep posture. So go ahead and come up. And once you position yourself facing this way so the camera can see your lower back. That's good. So as she leans in, we want to keep this lordotic curve. I'm going to stay tall through her spine, lean in, and ideally you're going to feel it on that underside, on that bottom glute. And we want to hold it for about 30 seconds. From this position, Tori's going to walk to the right and press her foot into her thigh. And go ahead and twist as much as you can. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most extreme stretch, we want to stay probably about a 5 to 7. With this position, what she's going to feel is through her lumbar region, thoracic spine, and a lot down through her hip flexors. And really pressing this foot into the thigh is going to create that stretch through the hip flexor, which is a lot of times people with tight hip flexors are going to have back issues, along with hamstring. That's another. We're not going to cover the hamstring stretch. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with different hamstring stretches, but that's another key stretch in a lower back routine. From this position, if you want to just intensify the stretch a little bit, she's going to go ahead and drop her right elbow down into this position here. And you'll find that it's just a little bit more intense, holding it for about 30 seconds. From this position, she's going to reach out as far as she can. She's going to feel this through her lats, all the way down, through her hip flexors, through her lower back. And she's just trying to stay long, keeping her arm fully extended. And she can play with the angle, whatever you feel the most, or you may, take 10 seconds of each. And if you have a partner, they can come in and actually pull on your wrist and elbow, and just a light pull to create a little bit more of a stretch. Once she's done, she's going to come out of this slowly, hand down, come back up slowly, walk back to the middle, and she would repeat on the other side, which we're not going to do right now. Another key thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure you're breathing. Relax and breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're not relaxing when you're stretching, you're going to really limit yourself, limit your potential. So make sure you're really focused on relaxing and breathing. So once you repeated the other side, another stretch we like to do is called the 90-90 stretch. And again, it's just another stretch for your thoracic spine. So why don't you go ahead and lay on your side. Now, commonly you're going to see this stretch where the bottom leg is straight, top leg over, and then we twist from here. We don't want this knee down on the ground. We've got to have it elevated with whether you put a medicine ball underneath it or if you stack a couple of Airex pads, but we want this knee about hip high. So just make it simple, just slide your other leg underneath. Very important, these knees are high. We don't want them down here with this stretch. It's just going to create more trouble with the lower back. So your lower back can be in a better position with your knees about belly button high. From here, go ahead and reach your left arm out in front of you here. And all she's going to do is simply open up, rotate, turn your head, lay it back, pause, breathe into it, relax. She's going to feel that through her thoracic spine. And she's actually going to feel it across her chest too. For some people, this is a little bit uncomfortable position. If that's the case, she can just go ahead and grab her ribs and pull from here. So either one is fine. I actually probably prefer maybe both because when you go to this position, you are getting a little more bang for your buck. You're getting it across your chest as well as your thoracic spine. And again, it's a thoracic spine stretch. We're not trying to twist the lumbar region. Your lumbar region is not meant to rotate. So you're going to do more harm than good if you're twisting that lumbar region. So go ahead and come back to the middle and relax from there. So there's just a few stretches right there. I recommend going through 2 to 3 times a week. If you add in the foam rolling and just that routine right there, it's going to take you about 10 minutes. Obviously, there's a lot of other stretches you need to include in your program. Those are just a few that are going to help you address your lower back.